live from my home in the Valley in a place called the Body Shop in Long Beach. It's the Hollywood Beatdown with UFC superstar Tyron Woodley. Tyron, what's going on, man? How are you?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Just out here living a life, trying to get some new wrinkles added to the game. So I'm out here Body Shop with my homie, Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, getting ready, getting some unorthodox shit thrown at me so I can, get ready to bounce back. I lost 2 fights in a row, man. How the hell that happened?
I don't know.
You ain't jumping the octagon to help me or nothing.
I'm not good at fighting.
Somebody else is, and we're going to talk about that a little later.
All right, cool. Let's start with Fired Up. All right, so we got to start with the big video of the week, man. I know that you're buddies with Mike Perry. He's a friend of the show. He's been on TMZ a lot over the years, man. He's always been super cool with us. I know you've always spoken very highly of him, but this was a very bad situation, a very bad look for Platinum Mike. He was at a restaurant in Lubbock, Texas on Tuesday night, got into a physical altercation, allegedly punched a restaurant staffer in the eye. And then when the altercation moved outside, you can see right here, Mike swings with an overhand right and connects with an elderly man, a man who was old, looks like a heavyset guy, and he drops the guy. And witnesses say that the victim smacked his head against the concrete and was hospitalized and is experiencing memory loss right now. So,
oh my God, he experiencing my neck, and my back because he found out Mike Perry is a pro fighter. But what I want to say is, I'm gonna take a different end. Some people are gonna not like me for this. Some people are gonna go the opposite direction. And of course, you know what? The reason why I like Mike Perry, and I never really broke that down why I like him. A long time ago, Mike Perry pulled up to a seminar I was doing in Orlando, and he pulled up to that seminar as a UFC fighter and said, I'm the one that's been talking shit about you on the internet and Twitter. I'm the one that's been talking about fighting, but I need to learn some new moves, so I'm here to take your seminar. He took the whole seminar as a regular student, and he came up to me at the end like, yeah, but I'm still coming for your belt. You got to respect that person because you got a whole pool of goofy, corny-ass fighters that talking, they want to fight, Kobe's talking about he want to fight, they offered me to fight 20,000 times. He said no every time. You got all these people that are doing what they think other people do, and then you got people that are set apart because that's who they are. That's who Nate is. That's who Nick is. That's who Jorge is. That's who Mike Perry is. So what I see is that we glorify when they on there talking about not paying their taxes and punching people and going crazy, or Nick Diaz say something crazy, or Nate. We glorify that and we pump them up. But if you feel like it's something, a screw loose, or if you feel like that person needs some help, why didn't you suggest him to go get counseling? Why didn't you suggest and see if he need to be medicated for a mental issue? Why didn't you suggest him, to sit down with somebody and work through his stuff and find a way to deal with his anger? So now all of a sudden, when he already said the N-word or whatever months ago, now Mike Perry, who's white, said the N-word. And, he also said it on Tyron's Twitter.
But Tyron, what people are focusing on is the act of violence, right? Because Mike Perry's point was that as he was leaving the restaurant, he kept on saying, don't touch me, stay away from me. And the people in the restaurant were kind of closing in on him. And his argument is going to be self-defense, that these guys were coming at me and that I felt threatened. That's why I struck. But don't you think that as a professional fighter, as a dangerous professional fighter, as an accomplished professional fighter, Mike Perry is, that he knows that what he's up against, that this man who was in front of him poses no real threat, and the obligation has to be on Mike Perry, who's a trained killer, to know where to show some restraint.
That's incorrect. You're giving Mike Perry the credit for the ration and the thought process that we love him for not having. We love him for not giving a fuck. So we love him for that. We pay him for that. We glorify him that. We make so many promo kits around that. Him flying out here with his girlfriend in no tournament. But now we're going to slap him on a hand because now the ration that he doesn't use it in the octagon. He just swing like he crazy, knocking everybody out or get knocked down. He'll lay on the sword. But what we glorify him for, now you want to input him with the ration and the thought process to do this the way that we quote unquote call normal. We can't do that. We can't pick and choose. We can't monetize off of him and his ability to not have a filter, then all of a sudden go back and try to reprimand him for it. At the end of the day,
we can expect civility out of him, right? I mean, like you don't expect
He did his Evan.
You don't expect Mike Perry to go out to a restaurant. And by the way, he's lucky he didn't kill that guy, because sometimes when you see guys that fall on the ground like that and they hit their head against the concrete, people die like that. He's lucky that guy didn't die, but he very
My
well.
question is this. I got two questions. At what age is too old for a motherfucker to step in your pocket and disrespect you to get hit in the face?
Well, the guy.
At what age is too old to get the fade? Because Connor, I remember Connor punching an old man for not taking a sip of whiskey, and I don't remember any reparation, any not reparation, any what's the word I'm looking for? Punishment. Anybody doing anything. He said, I'm sorry, picked up 2 pieces of trash, called it 300 hours of community service, and we glorified him. We paid him another bag.
I mean, look, that you're right about that. But in this particular case with Mike, this guy was.
So how's the comb different? How are we combing his hair differently than Connor's?
Well, in this particular case, Mike's accused of hitting 3 people. One of them is a woman, allegedly, according to the police report, that he put his hands on a woman, and it's what started. And then he hit a restaurant staffer, and then people in the restaurant were trying to get him out because they felt that he posed a threat to the rest of the restaurant. And also, the difference between this case and the Connor case was the amount of damage he inflicted. The guy from Connor, he took a shot to the face, but seemed okay and didn't really need medical attention. This guy was rushed to the hospital.
But also the guy that Connor fought was not coming after Connor. The guy wasn't stepping forward. The guy wasn't saying, okay, well, let's get it on. That person was across the room. So now he goes and punches an innocent man, which in my opinion is worse than somebody who's been given a warrant. Quit talking to me before I do this. That sounds like him telling him, if you keep talking, I'm going to knock your ass out too. And I'm not like, first off, I'm not agreeing. If it was me in a situation, hopefully I'd never be in that situation, but I would have stopped. And that's the way I move. I'm going to stop. I'm going to think about my daughter. I'm going to think about my son. I'm going to think about my endorsements. I'm going to think about my kids. I know I can fuck this dude up. Do I got to prove it? You know what? Let the burn in your chest. Take the L. Just get out of there because it's more at stake for me. That's the way I think. I can't put my brain into Mike Perry's head. So at the end of the day, what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about my family, my legacy, and all these years of putting all this time. And I just told you Mike Perry's upbringing. So he's thinking his respect. His whole shit has been respect from the beginning. If he comes up to you, he gives you the utmost respect. He did that to me. I bounced it back to him. That's why we Gucci. He gave it to Darren Till. Darren Till fake gave it back, and then he kind of said some sideways shit. Now he want to fight him. He don't want to fight Till because he thinks it's an easy fight or he want to go up to 185. He touched his respect. And this man, basically, in his mind, I'm talking to my girl. And I don't agree with domestic violence if he put his hands on it. Even if he assaulted these 2 men and the cookie crumbles where he ended up getting in a little bit of trouble for it, that's the law. But what I'm saying is that let's not glorify him for what he does in the octagon, his interviews, how he acts, what he says, and it's funny, and we use it to promote fights. And then all of a sudden he does it. Now, Michael Perry, no, I don't fuck with that. Because at the end of the day, we didn't see the first part of the video. It sounded as if the young lady was saying that the guy came over, maybe he slapped her glass or something like that and was kind of getting rowdy. I don't know if he actually put hands on her, and I'm not there. I didn't see it. I'm not witness. I'm not backing either side. But It sounded like the person, the waiter, the staff, or whoever the person was, came forth while he was having a situation and grabbed him, probably trying to diffuse him and get him out there or thought he was going to harm a young lady. And then out of reaction, out of every time he was in the street fighting, out of every time he was in a foster care, he's fucking trying to find a place to go, he's programmed. You can't deprogram that. So you grab me, I'm going to fucking hit you.
Right.
And he hit him. And now he's walking out. He's like, oh, now y'all going to call the police on me. Yeah. But he grabbed me first. He wanted to make sure before the police get there that the story doesn't change by the time he leaves the restaurant and the time they get there. Now, this guy was co-signing, okay, this happened, whatever. He said, man, shut up. Now, do I agree with that? Would that be my method? That wouldn't be my method. But I can't tell you to do it one way, him to do it another way, whatever. Yeah. He said, shut your bald head ass up or you get fucking knocked out too. Yeah. Well, here's guess what happened?
Yeah.
If I'm a scary ass old man and this is a pro fighter and I just watch him body somebody else, I'm going to step back. If I'm worried about getting hit, I'm not going to reach over the girl and try to get to the dude that I just witnessed body somebody 2 steps behind. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. That's what he did. And I'm not saying he deserves it, but let's put all the facts on the table. Let's not just outline the fact that he said the N-word in a video. He hit an old man, hit another old man and did it. Let's not do that. Let's put them all on the table. Whether I like it, whether I'm the judge or the police, he will have to take responsibility for what he did.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to take responsibility for how we promote fighting and how we promote entertainment. we're going to have to take responsibility for that.
So here's what's going to end up happening. So he's probably going to get arrested, probably going to get charged with a crime. He will probably argue self-defense. We'll see if that flies in court. And then he'll probably get sued by the old man, who's going to probably, sue him civilly for injuries and stuff like that. So look, Mike Perry's got a lot of issues going on right now. I know he's talking about money with the government, but if I were him, the first thing I would do is invest in a really good lawyer.
Yeah, I talked to him. I didn't talk to him. I reached out to him. I said, what I see, if I'm looking on the outside looking in, I'm seeing something. Damn, that's a problem. Reach out to us, and hopefully he does so. Mike, if you watch this, reach out, tell your side of the story, if it's through your lawyer or whatever, because this is looking real ugly at the moment.
All right, moving on to Tyron's favorite segment. It's called
On the Real, though.
On the Real, what do you think of Fight Island, man? I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. Fight Island's get going this weekend. Masvidal, Usman, they're headlining the card. What are your thoughts on this?
Fight Island 1, it looks dope. A lot of people didn't think Dana was going to pull it off, but that motherfucker's so crazy. He just wants to show you that he can do the shit, and he wants the badass stamp so bad. He got it done. So you got to take your hat off to him. It looks like they're taking every precaution. There's so many freaking disinfectant sprays and screenings and, things like that. So when you look at what they've done and what they're going to do, this is a historic part of the UFC. Am I looking at it like, fuck, I should be in Fight Island? Yeah. But at the end of the day, what God has for me is for me. And I think that Jorge Masvidal, this fight was supposed to be his before Gilbert got it. And they couldn't work out the money. And through an unforeseen series of events, it worked out that the fight that was originally supposed to happen happened. The money he was supposed to originally get, he got. And they're going to make way more in pay-per-view than Gilbert Burns versus his teammate. Right. Not a lot of controversy. Now you got the promos rolling back through. What do? What did we promote? We promoted the drama. We promoted him pointing at him like he's signaling that he's going to shoot him. We got what's the name? Tomo, come on, let's do it. What if they would have gotten into a fight? That would have been assault if someone wanted to call it, right? Right. But that's what we promoted off of. So I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good card.
Who wins? You fought Kamaru Usman. Jorge Masvidal.
I fought Kamaru Usman, and I trained with Masvidal since 2006. So I know very guys very well. So I think if Kamaru Usman decides to prove a point and want to stand on his feet, he throws his shots a little loopy, and then Masvidal is really fast and really sharp down the middle, body punches, really hard head kicks, and he moves, and he's hard to take down. You can't just get him off a quick takedown like a non-experienced non-wrestler. But if Usman does what he normally does, you got to give him credit. He does make adjustments. He will use a complete package. He will actually go out there, throw the punches, throw the strikes, go for the takedowns at the right moment, put you against the cage, and he'll go for the takedowns over and over again, and he's shown to have condition to do that. So it really depends on it's not really Masvidal. Masvidal's going to fight the same fight anyway.
Right.
He's going to try to put hands on him, trying to taunt him. He's going to try to get in his face, hit him fast, move a lot, hit him in the body, kick him, and not get taken out. If Usman's decided, let's strike, he's going to get knocked out. He may not knock out.
So you got $100 right now. Who you putting it on?
I had $100 right now. I put it on Jorge Masvidal for a fourth round TKO. I think if he makes it to that point and his conditioning holds up, I don't know what Masvidal is doing, but I think his striking skill set is very deceiving. The type of speed, if you ever spar him, he's very fast. Probably got the fastest hands in the UFC. If he gets to Masvidal, if he gets to Usman way too many times, I think we're going to see those shots come from a mile away. He's going to start diving in at the legs. You're going to be so far away, and then it's going to be the beginning and the end. So if he chooses, if I had to bet $100, I would bet on Masvidal.
Let me ask you a question, by the way. Do you know who came up with the name Fight Island?
You did. They better give my man his respect. And UFC people, can y'all please do me a favor? Can you at least send my man one of each? Wish you were a large.
I'm an XL.
Please, XL, can you please send my man one of each of every Fight Island shirt since he called it Fight Island? Please, because y'all don't want me to hit y'all up. And then, two, put a little bit of respect on his name. You know what I mean? Because low-key, you could sue. You want to sue?
I'm not suing anybody, man.
I can be your lawyer. Give me 10%.
I'm good with it, man. I just know that I can
send him some T-shirts, though, for real.
They did. Credit to Danny. He sent me some shirts. All right, now the part of the show where Tyron gets to punch someone in the face and pat somebody on the back. Tyron, who gets the pat on the back this week? Who do you like?
My homie Bubba Wallace getting patted on the back. Number one, he stood up and wanted these Confederate flags down. He probably been one of them down, and he had an opportunity because, you know what? This is something that's, our country has been represented for so long. We need to get rid of this. This is what we were built on, but this is not where we are now. So he wanted that down. It was a noose in my garage, and everybody was like, you know what I mean, let's walk with him. Even if it was already there, how the hell did he get the locker room that just so happened to have the one rope in there out of everybody?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
That's kind of crazy. So I want to give him a pat on the back, but I also want to give the NASCAR race drivers that stood with him, that took that walk with him in unity. I want to give them a pat on the back as well, because it took a lot of courage to do that. Everybody doesn't agree with the Black Lives Matter movement. Everybody doesn't agree with, protests or anything like that. So for them to stand with their brother in that moment of time, I got to give them a pat on the back. Whoever tried to ask my man Bubba Wallace to give an apology, whoever put that thought into the person that said his mouth. I'm not saying that person, because, you know what I mean? My email's been acting up real lately. My phone's been sounding creaky. So I'm going to say whoever put that thought into the person's mind that Bubba Wallace should apologize, that person should be punched.
Tyron, tell the people what to do.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to TMZ Sports. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, slide on over to YouTube, subscribe to TMZ Sport. More Hollywood beatdown and bomb-ass shows.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Boom, boom.